Hello mathletes, welcome to the Math Route by Shreeranjani. So today's topic is Arithmetic Expressions from Grade 7 NCERT Ganitaprakash syllabus. So watch the full video to learn the full chapter. So moving on to the topic, after this lesson the students will be able to understand arithmetic expressions, identify terms and operators, apply board mass correctly and brackets effectively, apply swapping and grouping rules and properties for simplification and evaluation. So the concept maps under arithmetic expressions is as follow. So the numbers and operators, terms, order of operations which is board mass, the bracket rules, addition rule and subtraction rule, the properties, commutative, associative and distributive, and then simplification and evaluation. Let us see what an arithmetic expression is. So it is a combination of numbers, operators, which are the fundamental operators, plus, minus, into and the division symbol obelisk. So example can be 5 plus 3 into 2 and it must follow rules to evaluate correctly. So here 3 into 2 product constitutes as a single term, only for plus and minus it constitutes as separate terms. So for plus and minus involved expressions alone we could say if there are n operators then there will be n plus 1 terms for the given expression. So n operators, n plus 1 terms is the key highlight here. So moving on to the next, the terms in expressions. So the terms are parts separated by plus or minus as we have seen earlier. So for example 7 plus 5 minus 2 is an expression. So the terms will be 7, 5, minus 2. Why do we say minus 2 instead of saying alone 2? Because here the terms are taken along with their signs. In simple words, an expression can have both positive and negative terms. Whereas in the second example, 3 into 4 plus 6, 3 into 4 is one term and 6 is the other term. So there are two terms only. So the next one is order of operations, board mass, which is quite familiar. So brackets, orders or of operator, D for division, M for multiplication, A for addition, S for subtraction. So rule is from left to right within the same priority. So we apply the same hierarchy in solving the arithmetic expressions given. So the bracket rules, first solve the inside brackets. Step 2 will positive be removing sign has the brackets. No change in the values within the brackets, whereas the negative sign outside the bracket you will have to change all signs inside. If it is positive it becomes negative, if it is negative it becomes positive, applying the rule of integers. So for instance 20 minus of 5 plus 3. So here it becomes 20 minus 5 minus 3. Both 5 and 3 positive within bracket becomes negative in the next step by applying the rule. And hence we solve it as 20 minus 5 minus 3 which is 20 minus 8 and it gives the answer plus 12. The key properties are commutative property, associative property and distributive property. So commutative property is an example under communication which involves only two persons. Similarly, it involves only two numbers here and let A and B be two numbers such a way A plus B is equal to B plus A. Associative property involves three numbers or more. So here we see for three numbers A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. The next comes distributive property which involves two operators. Product over addition is given here. So A into B plus C is equal to AB plus AC, or in other words A into B plus C is equal to A into B plus A into C. Under swapping of terms, the order of addition does not change the result. So this comes under commutativity. For instance, 4 plus 7 is equal to 7 plus 4. Both result in 11. It works for negative numbers too in the sense 4 plus of minus 7 is equal to minus 7 plus of 4. Grouping of terms. Changing grouping does not change the result. So 2 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 2 plus 3 plus 4. Just the group changes and not the final result. And we group the values and then add for faster calculation and more accuracy. So here 5 plus 4 is 9. Again here 2 plus 7 is again 9. So The grouping of terms does not change the final result. Next comes a worked example 6 plus 2 into 3 plus 1. So first we solve the brackets 3 plus 1 which is 4. Next, as per board mass, multiplication comes first. So we multiply 2 with the resultant of the bracket value which is 4. So 2 into 4 is 8. So step 3 is 6 plus 8 which is equal to 14. So the methodology is break down stepwise and 99% of the students make these common mistakes. First thing is ignoring the brackets and not knowing the order of brackets to be solved. So innermost bracket to be solved first. Then doing addition before multiplication is yet another common mistake. So follow board mass for it, and wrong sign change after the brackets. So children forget to change the sign of each value within the bracket. Instead they change only the value for one number which will change the original value or the final result. So skipping stepwise calculation. So skipping stepwise can lead them to a wrong answer. Important 1 mark questions may include identifying terms, applying board mass, expanding brackets values, evaluating simple expressions, true or false based on properties. Some practice questions based on the topics that we have seen has been given with and without brackets. If you have solved any of them, comment your answers in the section below. Let's do a quick recap. Expressions without brackets are simple arithmetic expressions. So brackets first to be solved, then board mass, division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. Swapping and grouping don't change the final result or the value, and properties are used to simplify calculations and evaluate. The properties are commutative, associative and distributive. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe at the Math Root for more conceptual videos and deeper understanding. Chapter 3 will be discussed in the next video. Until then, stay tuned for more updates, challenges and mathematical facts and real life applications. Signing off, Sri Ranjani. See you in the next video.